Hello, this is Everything Entertainment, and this is my death battle review of Megamind versus Ghoul. And honestly, I'm completely biased with this death battle since I was rooting for Megamind, so I am a bit upset that he lost, but I'm gonna be objectively fair and just talk about the death battle itself instead of putting my feelings into it that much. Like I will be biased throughout the video, so heads up. But I'll try to be fair to this death battle since I don't go to death battle for accuracy. I go for good fights, and this was a pretty fine fight. So let me get into it. Talk about Ghoul and his stats. As for Ghoul background, I do like it. I really do like the funny gag of his emo being bald and beautiful at Ghoul mail.com. That's funny. If that's true, that's actually a pretty funny gag. I like that they do have his super villain arc at the age of 11 since, spin-off and minions and stuff like that. And I'm actually shocked that he appeared on Ellen. I did not know that. I used to like that show, but after hearing things about her, I can't watch that show the same. Like I used to love that show as a kid, but then growing up, hearing the things he did and that, it just appalled me, and I stopped watching. I stopped watching way before, but this is a whole tangent. So anyway, good background check for Guru, and honestly, good information that I did not know about the whole email and him appearing on Ellen. His arsenal is also on point with some added bonus of the lipstick taser, which is technically not his, it's his wife, but that is good. And I kind of hate that I had the fog gun there. Probably could have kept it out, but it's technically in the first movie, and I think only in the first movie. I can't remember the other movies, but yeah. So your hit Arsenal is pretty accurate to the movies, I believe. I haven't watched the Minions or the spin-off or anything, so I don't really know. But his Arsenal is pretty accurate to what ghouls have. I like that they gave the sexes about the Minions only because they're the Minions, or pretty much the franchise itself. Despicable Me at this point is about the Minions. This quite sad how far Despicable Me fallen that that means are getting another movie, but that's that different tangent. I do like that they add the minions, even though I'm gonna complain about them later in the video. And that's about it. I really do like the section on the minions and their history and all that because I did not watch anything about the minions, so I have to take what they did at what I have to take what Death Battle said at face value. So good on them for adding the minions as their own section and not like a small part. As for feats, I have to admit, they kind of like put too much. What I mean is, stole the moon. Like that's not really a feat. Like that's like a accomplishment, not a feat. Stole the card of Jews from England, also not like a feat that can be calculated. And that's about it. Like I think those are the only two I have. Like the other ones, the ones he defeated, that kind of makes sense because at least you get like some context of opponents he defeated. But I don't think stealing and stealing stuff should count as feats, unless they added like a role saying how difficult it was. That's just I just feel like the feats were kind of not as entertaining as it was. Well, what they said was pretty entertaining, not what they put up in this case. So for Groove section, I really did like his section. His section was pretty good to great even. I really like the conclusion too, and how he pretty much have him up as being a terrible bad guy, but a good great guy, if that makes sense. I just like the conclusion. It wrapped up pretty nicely, and it made me feel happy about the Despicable Me franchise, even though I only like the first three movies. The first one being the best one. I think the second one being the best one. After that, and then the third one. Wow, it got worse. Anyway, I don't even know the fourth one. I don't want to find out. Anyway, conclusion, Groove section was pretty good, no complaints. Now to talk about Megamind's part of this video and his background, I really do like that they both were bald for them. That's just kind of funny that they added it for there. Also, I like that they added plus a few inches with baby seal leather boots. Like as for his height, that was pretty funny. And mentored by Machiavellian. I did not watch the spinoff because the spinoff did not look that good. So I'm just going to take what they say with somewhat a grain of salt since Death Battle is not as truthful than I would like them to be. But anyway, his background was pretty accurate and honestly pretty good. Now, to talk about his arsenal and minions, since they put them in one section, his arsenal is pretty accurate, even though they didn't use any of it. Okay, they used like the G gun and the minions. That's about it. Like on at his bike, but they didn't use his Metro Man suit, the invisible car, his mech suits. Like they use his death ray, but if he's a good guy in this video, he shouldn't be using his death ray satellite. Like, oh my god, they just was so unfair for Megamind in his fight. It was just terrible. As for feats, his feats are better than Guru since honestly he does take a lot of hits. Like seriously, he got hit by Titan. Not much Metro Man that I say, but Titan. He defeated the Doom Signature Mecha Villain or Psychedelic. Like he did do that, even though I'm pretty sure it was terrible. Still haven't watched the show, I never will, but hey, that's just me missing out something supposedly great. Uh yeah, his feats are pretty accurate and actually better than Gru's because he's actually living up to his feats reputation and he did do all this stuff, even if some of them are quite trash. But yeah, his feats are pretty accurate. Except for, I don't know this in another timeline we formed Titan and the Doom Syndicate. Is that a joke? Because I do not know the ending of that show, and it's like we need Metro Man. If someone can explain that in the comics for me, that would be nice. Otherwise, you don't have to watch the show for my sake. Honestly, I heard it's bad. I seen the scenes. I laughed at one scene, and that's it. And the show is not for me. So yeah, I will never know. I guess. To wrap up Megamind section, I do think I like rules analysis better and the conclusion better, but I do have to admit Megamind. I do like that they showed a video game and comics. I did not know he had video game and a comic. That was cool to see. But beside that, his part of the video was just fine. Honestly, I wish they did a little bit more. I think they gave a lot more credit to Guru's side, which kind of shows in his death battle result. I'll get to that in a bit, but his could have been way better, and they could have just focused on the movie and not the show. Honestly, they could have probably just mentioned the show like once or twice, and then just focus on the movie itself because the movie like S tier. But yeah, his sexual is just fine. Now to talk about the fight, I do love the start of the fight. We get the chase scene, and just it's a pretty good chase scene to open up the fight. I then like the follow up where they just fall crashing down in a brick building, which funny gag I guess. But anyway, I really do I like the little shooting and we have with them. Um Goo talk about his guns being pulled out. Megamind comparing the two with him being like, "Oh, you must be a fan of mine. Ha ha ha! I'm so great." Like not trying to make it sound sarcastic. It's pretty much saying, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, man, you follow my footsteps. You're a fanboy, and I appreciate that essentially from Mega Man, which I really do like the quick shoot scene we have. It's top. It's the best start opening after the chasing. The chasing was fine, but them shooting for a bit is an underrated. I think the most underrated moment of the death battle because it's just that good. But anyway, then we follow with the best moment of the episode. That is the Megamind reference. Like, oh my god, that was so cool. Like Groot, like what is and Megamind said presentation, but this time instead of a face is a whole full body imagery of him. That was just amazing and honestly, I think Death Battle did it better in the fight than in the movie. It was just so peak, and I really just love the reference. It was just they made it better. The show is like perfect, but seeing a full body, it's like okay, it's equal. It's equal. I'll give that battle credit. Then we get the worst moment of the fight, and that's Minion doing nothing. Watching the fight go on instead of helping him. I give it to you to the 3 to 5 way for Megamind to win this fight, and Minion being a sideline wasn't one of them. Like, oh my god, it was so stupid. This is what I hate. Like, he just watching, cheering them on. There was no point to this segment, honestly, and I'm really disappointed that they even mentioned him to literally sideline him. He is the minion. Like his brain bots are minions, but more or less pets. The brain bots are pets, but minions and minion. So sidelining him is unfair. Then we get another great scene of Megamind just flexing on Ghoul. Like, do you know who I am? Coming out of the brain bot's mouth of his own head. That was just so peak, and I actually gave Megamind so much aura, which he does have a little bit. Like these two characters do have aura, but they're so goofy. You tend to forget that they all can be that best cool guy there. Then this is follow up with another great moment of the fight where Mega Man like you're not playing the game right, which is peak because to Mega Man this is a game nonetheless. Like to hear like spoilers if you ever watch it, but you clearly hear you would have. Megamind thinks he's the bad guy. Gru thinks he's the bad guy. They're both technically good guys. It's a whole mixed up situation, so they didn't really need to fight. And Megamind going attention like, oh no, you're not playing the game right. It's pretty much in character for the old one, but I don't know if it's in character in the Megamind 9 now because I haven't watched the show. But yeah, I do love this moment. It was just so funny, and it is so accurate of what he would do. He has done this before, so it makes sense. And the fact that he pretty much won a little bit at this moment only proves that. So I have to give Megamind credit for at least getting the win because he did end up dehydrating them, which followed up with the next scene of the minions, the superpower ones that I forgot to mention because they would nearly got the quickest segment, coming together to work with the free group, which really unfair that they gave Megamind pretty much nothing. They gave him Banebuts, the gun, and jet boots. I'm trying to be as fair on the top of my head what they gave him, but they gave Ghoul like everything, literally the minions. And Ghoul doesn't even use the minions like that. He used like I don't know 3 to 10 of them, and then use a whole army if a whole army is needed. Besides that, it was kind of unfair. I do like that the fact that they said Ghoul is by getting him wet with spit. It was kind of funny accident like, it wasn't on purpose. The minions are not that smart. They're smart enough to be technically smart, but not just strategic smart. So that's like a happy accident. So I really do like that, even though Megamind pretty much won at this point. But if we follow the death by the rule, Megamind is not going for the kill. If Megamind was going for the kill, then well, he did go for the kill. But this is bad death battle, which I'll explain right now because we follow with Megamind failing to use like Megamind Death Ray, not killing Gru. Gru using the dehydration gun, the quote unquote just defeat Megamind, which ends up killing him. Which I really didn't hate the death battle on my I hated the death battle on my first watch. Then gave it the benefit of the doubt, but then hated it again after Classic Man D put out the flaws because I came for death battle for the fight, not for the accuracy. Because if I try to be accurate death battle, I just have a bad time. But knowing how much they took away from Megamind just made me upset. But anyway, to get to the death, I guess it's technically accurate since this would be a way for Megamind to die by accident. If they both knew they were good guys, they would never have fought. And Megamind was like, "Oh, okay," and try to explain it, which ends up getting him killed. Which, yeah, that would probably happen to Megamind. Not gonna lie, that would happen. Man really like had a whole conversation with Titan in the movie, and he was like, "Okay, take me to jail." Titan like, "No, no, no." And Megamind, this is not how you play the game. So yeah, I do believe Megamind will probably get killed by this, even though he should have won the death battle with all the stuff he have. But I'll explain that in the conclusion, where they talk about like the 3 categories they have for this death battle. But yeah, the fight is a solid 6 out of 10. I don't hate it, but Megamind hard carried this fight with Goo just getting the win, honestly. So yeah, 6 out of 10 fight. Now to talk about the conclusion and give my overall thoughts of the fight. Now to go over the categories of the fight, Arsenal or the Megamind since he had better actual working tools. Like seriously, Gru have the fuck gun. Yes, he have like ice rays and laser guns and stuff like that. Mega Man have better stuff and an actual suit that give him the strength of um not Omni Man, I'm about to say Omni Man, but the strength of Mega Man, Mega Mind, Metro Man, yeah, Metro Man. So his arsenal is better because he literally have way more stuff that actually works, and his stuff is way more flexible than Goo. Goo have to switch out. Mega Man just have to keep hold of one gun, which they haven't dropped, which is crazy. And the fact that Mega Mind would know how to use is also better than Goo. Goo use weapons and tools, but Mega Mind actually made all his tools will know how to use them the best. For minions, it could be equal. I would have actually gave the Goo because his minions are technically stronger, even though, like in the second movie with the woman, his wife, spoilers, but in the second movie, two of them got defeated by lipstick tasers, so technically that dropped the durability. But we go high end, yeah, like all the minions are probably stronger than the brain bots by a large margin, if we being fair. I giving them equal fair, but I would have to give it to Google for that one because the minions, they maybe look stupid, but they're way more capable than we thought. And for skill, the skill one is not even fair because obviously school would be more skillful. But Megamind's way smarter and way cleverer. Like Gru lost me, he was a terrible villain. Megamind lost me, who's just overpowered. Both sucked at villainy. The difference is Gru wasn't really good to begin with, while Megamind was actually pretty good. He just didn't want to be a villain. Like man took a afternoon walk and fell in love and was never the same. And I can't even use that because they're not being fair. They talk about skill, obviously hand to hand combat, Gru would win. But Mega might have beating opponents that was overpowered than them, better skilled than them, by just outsmarting them, which he should be able to do with Ghoul because Ghoul may be more skilled and more ferocious in a lot of areas and may be able to beat Megamind one on one. But like I said, his brains plus good planning plus that Metro Man suit plus actual use of his weapons, and he would have won that fight, no hesitation. So I am being unfair, but I do think they were kind of not fair for Megamind because they did give Gru so much. They gave Gru all the minions plus the super power minions with the laser. Yeah, I still can't fathom how that one eye minion, when they were overpowered the sun. If he really did, Gru should have still been dead. There's no way. Like, I'm going on a tangent. Anyway, overall, I would give this death battle as a whole a 5 out of 10. Even though I do like the fight, it's mostly carried by Megamind and oh my god, the voice acting. The voice acting, I had to watch this video like 10 times to accept it, which I'm not gonna complain since I'm not a good voice actor. Like honestly, the best voice actor for me to carry to be part of, like if I have to pick a character, would be a mute character. So I'm not gonna come out and shame someone for their voices, but the voices got like, it's a little off. Like, they got the tone, the range pretty accurate, but it's off. But anyway, this that ball is a 5 out of 10. Honestly, I knew they were gonna do something like this, but Mega Man should have won. And this that battle was just wasn't fair. That battle is all time where they just picked the one who more popular and downplayed the other so easily. Even though they gave Mega Man all the stuff they could have done to beat Gru. And oh, I'm just gonna live by this as the show, like Mega Man show downplayed him. I'm just gonna live with that. That he got anti feats because of that show. That's the only way I could join his death battle, which is the weakest one of this season. Still fine and watchable, but it's clear the weakest one of this season. Probably bad if I'm being critical, but I'm not going that far. People probably do like it and people did work hard on it. So I'm not gonna shame them. I like Death Battle. Now for the Death Battle, my prediction is I'm going with UG because, like I said in my other Death Battle, I have not watched Chainsaw Man yet. I know it ended. I got spoiled about the ending, like social media, but that's all different thing. So I'm just gonna go with Yuji because I have watched all JJK. Like I'm even caught up to the manga, even though the manga have been animated. Because spoilers, and I know her into, and I know the sequel manga stuff. God, I hate spoilers. Like seriously, can I just not go open up the Instagram or TikTok or I'll go say Twitter, but I'm gonna have to say X now and not see a spoiler. But anyway, like I said, I don't have much to say since I don't know the feature of Chainsaw Man, and I do know the feature of Beauty. So if I had to pick, I'm picking Beauty. Yeah, I like it more, and from what I heard about Chainsaw Man, this might be another Bakugo situation where he's just gonna get hidden easily. They're gonna inflate his stats, but Yuji should win. And honestly, I do think he's gonna win. But that's overall it. That's my prediction for the next death battle. This death battle was pretty good, not that great, and that's it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good